Hey, yo, peace, family. This is Lord Jamar for the Yanadameen Godcast. And if you watch the Godcast, you know my number one sponsor is Miracle Food. That's right, Miracle Food, the perfect cleanse and reboot for a healthy immune system. And these times, you know, a healthy immune system is very important. It's also anti inflammatory. Miracle Food has Moringa, black seed oil, beet root oil. It also contains CBD. Miracle Food is just what it says. Miracle Food. Brought to you by my brother, the Chakra Doctor. So this is a black-owned company, y'all. We promote black-owned companies here on the Godcast. Okay, so go to chakradoctor.org and get your Miracle Food today. Tell them Lord Jamal sent you. Peace.
I'll let you go peacefully.
11. Yeah. Let's get it. Drugs to cope with the way we live. They done turn the neighborhood into the Bay of Pigs. Kidnapped the fathers and enslaved the kids. Now they poisoning the water that they gave the kids. He ran from the cops, so they sprayed his wig. We gon' turn the precinct to the Bay of Pigs. Saw the crib like, that's the way you live? Loafy bread, baking soda, sitting in the fridge. My melanin garners hatred, it's sacred. Hussein Bolt, I'm too swift for the races. Drugs change the house structure. See my uncle smoke rocks downstairs, now the attic is in the basement.
Preview.
What's cracking, King?
Everything's good, man.
How you be?
Man, I'll be good, man. I can't complain.
You looking great, brother. You looking great.
Man, I'm trying to stay young and healthy and, do what I got to do to survive in this crookedness. You feel me?
Yeah, you looking kind of swole up top, like you've been working out.
I go to the gym a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Try to get my health in, my
You look
buff
like
on.
you go more than a little bit. You go
Yeah, I go more than
regularly.
I go more than the average Joe. You feel
Good,
me?
good,
There you
good,
go.
good. Let's clap that up because we love health and wealth on this channel right here. How long have you been working out for?
Honestly, about 4 years.
Okay. And what made you start working out? Are you the type that you were living such a reckless life and just doing this and that finally you said, you know what, let me get my shit together, or not so much, and you just said, you know what, I just got into it.
With staying on the road and still traveling and going overseas and doing all that. Then I started coaching football, with the kids,
Nice.
and just trying to maintain that and knowing dudes who was going to the gym and on that tip, they finally convinced me, to get into the gym, and I tried it for a week and took a pause for about a month, and then I went back one day and then the bug hit me, man. I just started going every day and then twice a day, and then every time I had free time, I was in the gym. So that's how it started.
Because didn't you come up pretty much as like a smaller type of dude, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I was. I was
Right.
a smaller type of dude. I probably didn't weigh but about 140 pounds, because I wasn't into, the health and the weightlifting and all that. That was something that was over my head at the time, and health and being a young dude that just ran. Um, it never sparked my interest, so to speak. But getting older and wanting to be able to maintain and be around and, trying to deal with that sort of shit, I just felt like, hey, let me try out, and like I said, it became a force of habit, and I started wanting to do it more and more, and that's just how it became.
Now, especially having a smaller frame, were you discouraged at first? Like, damn, I don't even know if I can get that kind of mass that I might be looking for. And then what do you feel like you did to help you, you know what I mean? Help you bulk up a
Um,
little bit.
it's a process that it takes. It's gonna take a minute to see results. so to speak. So I knew that. I knew going into the gym, looking at dudes who was 220 pounds in muscle, and maybe trying to reach that aspect. I knew that was a far shot, but I just stuck to the program of what my dude told me, and it was just eat,
Right.
just eat, just eat. You get me? And I was a person who, like most of us who in our career early, traveling and promo touring and doing that, you know how that lifestyle was. You hitting fast food restaurants and in and out of hotels and on to the next flight and on to the next city. And so I never was one to eat 5 and 6 meals a day. You get
Mhm.
me?
Right.
And I'm the type of dude who ate once. Give me some coffee. I'm gonna eat once in the afternoon, and we finna push all day.
Right.
Uh, so it was hard to pick up that habit. But once I started doing that, eating 5 times a day and going to the gym twice a day and staying on that regimen, the results started coming.
And how much do you weigh now? How much did you gain in like muscle mass?
I gained about 50 pounds in muscle mass.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Wow.
went, I went from about a buck 40 to I'm about a buck 90 now.
Wow. Very impressive. Very impressive. All right. So, well, hang on. Matter of fact, let me share this with the people because this is old school fucking. This is old school MC Eiht, old school Lord Jamar, old school. A lot of us check this flick out. Did you see this flick before right here?
I saw that flick
A
yesterday.
couple days
And
ago.
yes, indeed. That's real infamous right there,
I'm
man.
not even sure. Do you know where this is at?
I have no idea where that's at.
Now look
We
at a thin MC Eiht, a very
are
stealth
there.
Lord Jamar. Everybody looking thin. Actually, look at fucking.
My man Fife.
Oh, look at fucking Be Real. Look at man
Uh-huh.
Finn and fucking Muggs. Everybody. Wow.
Yep, definitely.
Nikki
Who knows where
D.
that flick was? It had to be on the East Coast somewhere at the time.
My guess is it was one of those you know how they had those Jack the Rapper type
Exactly.
CMJ type of, it probably was some CMJ maybe in New York, some shit like that.
Okay,
You
yeah.
know what I
We,
mean?
we did move around a lot back then.
Yeah, but damn, that's like early. Damn, I had the young dreads with the fucking lamb chops. Shit is crazy. Q-tip. Wow, that's a classic flick right there. So
Yes, indeed.
let's let's take it back. Wait, how do I get out of that? Okay, yeah, stop that. There we go. Oh, you got it on your phone. Okay, could you maybe turn your phone? There you go. There you go. Bang. All right. So let's get into it. MC8, born and raised Compton, California. Yes.
Yep.
Um, Tell me about, well, first of all, if you don't mind, how old are you? I'm 50. I'm about to be 53.
I just turned 50.
Okay, cool. So tell me about the age. We're about the same, the same age. Tell me about the era coming up in Compton, California, basically in the 70s. You was a child in the 70s.
Right.
Tell me about, what it was like coming up in Compton at that time. Tell me about when you first started getting introduced to hip hop. And then ultimately, when did you start saying, you know what, this is some shit that I could do and I'm gonna start fucking with it. You know what I mean? In some kind of way, write my little raps or whatever the case may be.
Uh, you know, um, like you said, I came up in the 70s. A lot of soul music and you know, uh, family functions and adult parties and So that's basically, that's what life was to me. Typical kid. Um, Mom's had a decent job. Pops worked for General Motors. So um, it was pretty cool in the beginning. My parents split. Uh,
Mm.
um, so, growing up in Compton, single moms, sister, um, younger brother, uh, gang infested. You feel me?
You the oldest?
No, I'm the middle kid.
Okay.
So my sister, she was with the business, um, which made me get with the business.
Wait, she's older than you.
Right.
Okay.
Um, just by her being associated with dudes, knowing dudes who was banged out and coming through, that made me as like a 11, 12-year-old kid fascinated with the life.
Right.
Uh, so by the age of, as far as I can remember, and I started gang banging and claiming a set, Tragnew Park, and that's what my life was.
And
It,
that's
you
and
know,
that's a crip set, yes?
yeah, that's a Crip set on the west side of Compton. Um, I seen, drive-by killings and, jumping niggas and rolling through enemy territories and, shootouts and what have you. Um, Moms was a hard worker. Uh, Wanted me to take that path. You get me? Uh, I think dreams falter when you get into reality of where you growing up and the choices you have. Like I said, my father left the home, so all those dreams of a typical kid at 5, 6 year old. I'm gonna be a policeman. I'm gonna be a fireman. All those dreams went out the window
Mm.
because now I was left to the block. You
Mm.
get me?
Right.
Uh, Moms was working. 11 o'clock at night to 7 in the morning.
Right.
So again, I was left to the block
Right.
and not having no older brother around or father gone. You know, Mom's tried to do what she could, put me in sports, and that had me for a little bit. And then, like I said, once it really started with the gang banging and claiming the set, there was nothing else I saw. All the dreams of that went out the window, and it was just about claiming the hood and selling crack. You
Mm.
feel me? Um, we used to take family trips to Gulfport, Mississippi.
That's
Um,
where your family's from?
It's where
Mississippi?
my, it's where my mom's is from, Gulfport, Mississippi. My father is from Tampa Bay, Florida.
Ah.
So I still had contact with my dad now. He wasn't one of those, just left us high and dry. I still talk to my dad. I still went and visited on the weekends,
Copy.
but
But
I
it was
was left
different though.
I was left to the streets of Compton. You get me? So Mom's did what she could, like I said, but by that time I was already infatuated with the street life. Um, I took a trip to Gulfport, Mississippi one summer, and
Mm.
that's when I was introduced to hip hop. Uh,
Oh,
I
so wait,
heard,
wait, wait. So you weren't introduced to hip hop in LA. You got introduced to it in Mississippi?
yeah, I got introduced to hip because back then when I was a kid, our radio, I didn't listen to. There was K-Day was probably our only black station. And it was so squeaky and fucked up on the weekends you could barely hear it.
Uh,
So
uh, uh,
a
uh,
lot of us we were forced to listen to pop music coming up, you
right.
know.
Like
Uh,
top 40 type of shit.
exactly.
Right. I
That's
remember
what that's
listening to a lot of top 40 as a little kid.
That's what played in our household, top 40.
Right.
Unless moms would break out the Millie Jackson or the Bobby Blue Bland or some shit like that. But as far as radio is concerned, it was just all top 40 shit. So whatever it was at the time, Prince, Michael Jackson, Pat Benatar,
Yeah.
Duran, that type of shit. That's
Yeah.
all that played on the fucking radio. You get me? It wasn't no motherfucking hip hop. It was top 40.
Right.
So I took a trip down to motherfucking Mississippi and I was introduced to honestly, I was introduced to Run DMC and Midnight Star, and I heard Freakazoid and I heard Sucker MC. And
Oh, that's a funny combination. Run DMC and Midnight Star.
that's what I heard because I didn't hear that type of shit back at home. You get me? So
Now,
that made
when you
me,
first heard Sucker MC, what was your reaction? Like, what did you think in your mind? Like,
I was like, holy shit.
holy shit, right?
Like, what the fuck is that? Like,
like that's some shit
so
right there.
I was intrigued. So as soon as I got home, I ran to the swap meet because moms would give us money to go buy shoes or clothes for school or whatever. I'm at the motherfucking swap meet buying 12 inches. Grandmaster Flash, Treacherous 3, fucking Sparky D and Roxanne Shante. I'm buying UTFO singles and shit. I'm buying Just Ice singles and shit. Like, I'm like, God damn, rap shit, you getting in trouble. Because I'm buying these motherfucking, the Boogie Boys and Fly Girl and shit.
The Boogie Boys.
I wanted all that shit, man. I'm telling you, I was on all that shit. Fucking all that early shit, man.
And see, that's ill that you say that because, not to cut you off, but your style and all of that, like before we was doing this interview, for some reason, I started saying some Spoonie G type of rhymes. And I thought to myself, you know what? Eiht style is kind of reminiscent of Spoonie G in a way. Like the smoothness of it and it's hard to pinpoint right now exactly what I'm talking about, but you remind me of Spoonie G in a way. Did you ever listen to Spoonie G back in the day?
I listen to all. I grew up on nothing but East Coast rap. We didn't have no rap on the West Coast. We had shit like Bobby Jimmy and the Critters and shit like that. Like, real talk.
That was a rap group?
Yeah. Bobby Jimmy and the Critters. And I call them like, how you got Weird Al Yankovic and he always taking somebody's shit and flipping it, making it. That's what Bobby Jimmy and them did. They flipped niggas songs and made comical bullshit raps out of it. That was our motherfucking shit.
And that was just local though. That was, you had to be from LA to even hear.
Yeah, that was local shit. Like we had LA Dream Team. We had Egyptian Lover. We had
Egyptian Lover. We had did a show with Egyptian Lover early, like in our fucking career. I mean, early. I think we was in North Carolina. First of all, I had never heard of this guy. You know what I mean? Like, we kind of thought it was, the name was kind of weird, and then the music, like, we didn't understand that shit at all. Like, we was like, we wasn't fucking with Egyptian.
Mystified about that type of shit. Well, that was West Coast.
He was on the show type of shit.
Right. Egyptian Lover was large on the West Coast at that time when rap music first started breaking. Y'all had motherfuckers like I said, y'all had BDP. Y'all had motherfucker my man Pooba with the sexy and shit like that. Masters of Ceremony and shit like that, man. Y'all had the Sonics and shit. Y'all had the Beastie Boys and Run DMC and shit and EPMD. We had Egyptian Lover and LA Dream Team and the Wrecking Crew. We didn't have like real significant hip hop until NWA came on. Now we had underground niggas that was large, which influenced a lot of our music. We had Toddy T.
Real quick, who would you say was hard, but a precursor to a Run DMC that we didn't necessarily hear of? Because I never heard of who you just said. What's his name?
We had motherfucking we had Toddy T. Toddy T and Mixmaster Spade basically were how they got the mixtapes and shit. So Toddy T was from my neighborhood, and they had a crew called the LA Posse. It was Toddy T, Mixmaster Spade, DJ Pooh, and they basically introduced you to the street rap before Easy broke it. You hear me? Now, Todd had a single called Battle Ram, okay? And that's what really...
Battle Ram?
Battle Ram.
I know Battle Ram.
Okay, now that was Toddy T. Toddy
Oh,
T
that was a West Coast dude. Okay, the Battle
right.
Ram. Yeah, I know the Battle Ram.
Battle Ram came because they used to basically make mixtapes, you know, TDK tapes, go in the garage, bang, 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 and they used to take all the hits, like before the shit was signed to whatever. They used to go around and sell these tapes. They would take all the East Coast hits because, like I said, y'all niggas had it locked. Houdini, everything that came out the East Coast was on fire. So Toddy T made the Battle Ram off of the Rapping Duke. Remember the Rapping Duke?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So he took the instrumental to the Rapping Duke and he made a song called the Battle Ram. And basically it was
And that
talking
was
about
played on the East Coast. I heard that in mixtape on mix shows on the East Coast. That's how I know the Battle Ram. And for those of y'all that don't know what the Battle Ram is, that's what the police use to knock your fucking door down, the motherfucking Battle Ram. But anyway, go ahead.
Back in the 80s, you know, the crack scene was real hot. You get me? So niggas was real heavy with it. So we used to have Daryl Gates was the police chief. Niggas was getting busted. Niggas was hoods was getting raided, crack houses, dope houses, and they would use the Battle Ram. So my nigga Todd made a song out of it. He would talk about the mayor and Chief Daryl Gates, and they coming through your hood with the Battle Ram, and the shit was selling like hotcakes. So they started doing all that shit. Like Houdini had the freaks come out at night. They had the clucks come out at night. Where they were talking about serving in the hood and how the clucks would come out at night and they be making their bread, boom-de whoom, you know. So they did all that type of shit, and that's introduced us to the street shit. Therefore, how Easy came into the picture. Easy came into the picture with Boys in the Hood, and that's what kind of solidified us as, you know, mainstream West Coast rap. So